This is a strange way of having school. We agree. Grade 1, did you notice I didn't say everything out loud? That is because today we're going to be learning about these things. I know they look like little 11s. Sometimes they look like 66s and 99s. But they are called quotation marks. And quotation marks help us because they tell us what people are saying out loud. You can hear it. So the first quotation mark tells you where people start talking. This is a strange way of having school. And the last quotation mark tells us where we stop talking. And this, said Miss J, is called a speaker tag. It tells us who is talking and how they're doing it. So I didn't say this either. All the parents said, we agree. So the first quotation mark tells you where they start talking, and the last one tells you where they stop talking. So in your story, if you take out your reader and you can follow along, we're going to listen to a story, and you should be able to hear how each character is speaking. When they start to speak, in your book you'll see quotation marks, and when they stop speaking you'll see quotation marks. But you'll be able to hear it too when the reader is reading. So here, if you can hear the words that go in between quotation marks. We're going to...
The Kite. Frog and Toad went out to fly a kite. They went to a large meadow where the wind was strong. Our kite will fly up and up, said Frog. It will fly all the way up to the top of the sky. Toad, said Frog, I will hold the ball of string. You hold the kite and run. Toad ran across the meadow. He ran as fast as his short legs could carry him. The kite went up in the air. It fell to the ground with a bump. Toad heard laughter. 3 robins were sitting in a bush. That kite will not fly, said the robins. You may as well give up. Toad ran back to Frog. Frog, said Toad, this kite will not fly. I give up. We must make a second try, said Frog. Wave the kite over your head. Perhaps that will make it fly. Toad ran back across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. The kite went up in the air and then fell down with a thud. What a joke, said the robins. That kite will never get off the ground. Toad ran back to Frog. This kite is a joke, he said. It will never get off the ground. We have to make a third try, said Frog. Wave the kite over your head and jump up and down. Perhaps that will make it fly. Toad ran across the meadow again. He waved the kite over his head. He jumped up and down. The kite went up in the air and crashed down into the grass. That kite is junk, said the robins. Throw it away and go home. Toad ran back to Frog. "This kite is junk," he said. "I think we should throw it away and go home." "Toad," said Frog, "we need one more try. Wave the kite over your head, jump up and down, and shout, 'Up, kite, up!'" Toad ran across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. He jumped up and down. He shouted, "Up, kite, up!" The kite flew into the air. It climbed higher and higher. "We did it!" cried Toad. "Yes," said Frog, "if a running try did not work, and a running and waving try did not work, and a running, waving, and jumping try did not work, I knew that a running, waving, jumping, and shouting try just had to work." The robins flew out of the bush, but they could not fly as high as the kite. Frog and Toad sat and watched their kite. It seemed to be flying way up at the top of the sky.
Okay, so hopefully you could see that the speaker actually changed his voice to match what the character said out loud. So if we look in our reader, here we have a quotation mark and another quotation mark. This is the speaker tag. This tells us who's talking. Another quotation mark and another quotation mark. So this is Frog talking, and what Frog says out loud so that you can hear him is, "Our kite will fly up and up. It will fly all the way up to the top of the sky." And then here we have more quotation marks and where he stops. And this is the other speaker tag. Now we see that Frog is talking and more quotation marks. These tell you what he says out loud. Toad, I will hold the ball of string. You hold the kite and run. So in this whole page, the only thing that you would hear out loud if you were with Frog and Toad is the stuff in between the quotation marks. Same thing on this page. Here we see quotation marks. This is where characters are talking. The speaker tag says it's the robins talking, and the quotation marks tell you what you can hear them say out loud. So the robins are talking and they are saying, "That kite will not fly. You may as well give up." So what you're going to do is you're going to work on that in your workbook, page 7 and 8. On page 7, you're going to underline what the person says out loud, and then you can circle the speaker. And on page 8, you're going to have to write quotation marks to show what the person has said out loud. You might need help from mom or dad to, or older brothers and sisters to do those pages. Then here we have a list of some of my favorite things. Teaching, Sophie, baseball, Newfoundland, icebergs. And what we're going to do is alphabetical order. Alphabetical order is when you have a list of things and you put them in order of the alphabet. A, B, C, D. So what we are going to do is take these words and go, okay, which one would come first alphabetically? And to me, the easiest thing, since you don't have an alphabet in front of you, is to sing the alphabet. A, does any of them start with A? No. A, B, here we have one. B. baseball. So we're going to do baseball first. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, icebergs, J, K, L, M, N, Newfoundland. O, P, Q, R, S, T. All right, now we have all of our words in alphabetical order. And you can double check. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. So, here we have some animals. We're going to put those in alphabetical order, and you should think, which one comes first? I'll read them for you. Cats, birds, dogs, whales, dinosaurs. None of them start with A, but we have a B, birds. C, cats. D. Now here's the tricky thing. We have dogs and we have dinosaurs. How do you know which one comes first alphabetically? So first you can look at the first letter. Those are the same. But then you would look at the second letter. And which one comes next in the alphabet? I or O? I do know that I gave you an alphabet list. Some of you have it. Otherwise, you sing it and you find out that I comes before O, A, B, C, D, and whales. So that is those words in alphabetical order. That's what you're going to do on page 15 and 16. You take these words and you write them in alphabetical order. And then I've had grade 1s mix this up before. So put group 1, just those words in alphabetical order. And then you do group 2, just those words in alphabetical order. And then we're going to keep practicing with our OW words, sorting OU and OW, OU and OW, cut and paste, and reading cut and paste. That's a bit for you today, so if you have time, you can read. If not, that's okay. That will be it for today.